I want to show you one last building made by Gaudi that's also in this boulevard, which is really worth it. It's really a must. That's 2 blocks up on the right. I wanted to comment you this building that was built by Gaudi between 1906 and 1910. On this case, it was brand new built by him. It was not a refurbishment work. It's designed by him from zero. Okay? It was built for the family Mila. So the house is called the Mila house. It's built around 2 big patios, big windows of the outside, from the big windows of the interior corridors, a lot of ventilation. Well, it's amazing. It's a house with an underground garage, the first house in Barcelona with an underground garage. It's finished in 1910. 17 apartments in total. The Milans live in the first floor, a huge apartment of 10,400 square feet. The next floors, every floor has 4 apartments, 2,400 square feet each, which is also very big for us. Nowadays, this is a building that you can visit. You pay a ticket to get in, and then you can visit one of the apartments, and then there is the roof terrace. That under the roof terrace there is a level. There's a level between the apartments and the roof, which was used for the maids of these families to do the washing, to have the clotheslines. And so that nowadays is an exhibition about Gaudi's architecture and the roof. 3 apartments are still rented. Not everybody can afford really to rent that, not with our salaries. The Mila family were also textile industrialists, and in 1906 they had loved the house Casa Batlló that we just saw with the Legend of St. George that had won a prize. And they loved that building, and they wanted a house similar to the Batllós. So they bought a whole corner of a block, which was expensive and is expensive, whole corner, with the idea that Gaudi would build for them a house similar to the Batllós. And Gaudi made a design, some sketches, where you could see a house similar to the other one. So he started the works. But what happened with Gaudi, like with many artists, was inspired. In some moments, got an inspiration, and started to make changes in the project. Yes? And those changes ended that the building at the end cost a lot of money, double than the budget he had given. And also even worse for them was the fact that the final result had absolutely nothing to do with the Casa Batlló, because they are 2 very different buildings. So they were very unhappy. They didn't want this house. The society at that time didn't understand this building and didn't like it. And Gaudi was very angry because they didn't understand him. Everybody criticized this house. This house got a terrible nickname, a mean nickname, which is La Pedrera. Pedrera means a stone quarry. It's a word in Catalan. It means the stone quarry house. That was the nickname given by the neighborhood because they didn't like the house and they said that was ugly like a stone quarry. On this case, Gaudi had not used any ceramic, no mosaics, which is what characterizes most of his buildings. The whole facade is inspired in the sea, represents the sea waves made of stone. The shape of these curves, this wavy facade, gives you a feeling of movement, life, but contrasting a lot with the heavy materials used, no? That are more like stable, heavy, the stone and the iron. Because it was the first house built in Barcelona without supporting walls. The building is supported by columns, pillars. The rest of the buildings before had supporting walls, wall supporting. But this was the first one without. So the walls were only to separate rooms, but not to carry weight. So that made Gaudi the possibility to make really 3 big rooms. The facade is only a curtain facade that doesn't carry any weight either. It's only hiding what is behind. I think it's a World Heritage Site. Gaudi has in Barcelona 13 works. From those 13 works, 5 of them are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So in his lifetime was not that recognized, was seen like a little eccentric architect with a very tough character to talk to, very tough. But nowadays he's one of the masters of the history.
When visiting inside Casa Mila, you have the chance to walk through a typical middle-class apartment that dates back to 1906, the time of the building's construction. And the furnishings, the interiors are all designed by Gaudi, so it's really quite an amazing and immersive experience. You see the furniture designed by this great master and all of the interior spaces. Then you can go back up on that roof anytime and during your visit, have another look out across the rooftops of the city. And from there, you actually do get a view of Sagrada Familia off in the distance, which is another great monument that we'll be visiting in our series on Gaudi in Barcelona. All in all, the Casa Mila is a great experience. You don't want to just look at it from the outside. Pay the admission and go on in and enjoy the visit.